Troll Play episode number 23. We're going to do a few new things today. So I'm getting the paint ready. Excuse me if you heard that in my throat. I think I should have used a smaller brush. We're going to just put this all over. Our face. I haven't put, the only color I've put all over my face so far was a white. I said, you know what? Let's do another color. Spice things up a little bit. See how things turn out. We are going to even it out later. Right now we're just getting on the base layer. I do like this brush. I only have one of these, but since they're easy to clean, that is not a problem. Not at all. Let me know what you think of these Troll Play videos. Like, are you enjoying them, watching how things are created, or are you like, girl, just keep that for somebody else? Or start a different channel for clowns makeup or the entertainment makeup. I'm gonna wet the brush a little bit more. I do imagine it would be interesting because it is something different to see, and I am still very excited about it and very much looking forward to events that are coming up. So we're just gonna make up stuff today to do. We're not gonna think too hard about it. I think I might put a black on my brows or see if another color will cover the brows. But so yeah, we're just putting our base layer on right now. This is the Mayron Makeup Paradise Makeup AQ Pro palette that we're using. And that is the entire title of what this product is. This feels so nice. This is a nice brush. And the paint feels cooling because of the water. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to get under my eyes. And around my mouth area. Would you believe, even though it's like 12:30 in the morning, it is 80 degrees in my apartment. It's 60 something outside. So I'm like, why is it so hot in here? So I do think my neighbor downstairs still has his heat on, because there is no reason why it should be 60 something outside and 80 degrees in here. So yes, I did put my AC on. I put the temperature on 78 because I don't want it pumping. Because it's not even summer yet. You know what I mean? And I do try and hold off as long as possible. This will be good for making bruises, the way this color is showing up different ways. And the bruising I've done was with I think it might have been with Inglot and with eyeshadows. And I'm thinking back now to the shading that I did with the Makeup by Mario Moonlit Ethereal Eyes palette, whatever it was called, and I really like that look. And it surprised me that, okay, this supposedly glam luxury brand eyeshadow palette, and I did the look that I did with it. So that goes to show, you know, just play around with your stuff, because it can be something other than, oh man, it's like somebody threw blood on my face. I love this. And the look I did with bruising. Like, some people really thought that something happened to me, and I was just like, mission accomplished. But also I felt bad in a way, because I imagine it was triggering to some people. You know what I mean? I'm going to switch brushes now because this is not staying together, and so it's leaving lines. Alright, so we're going to clean this brush off. We're dipping it in the water to get the paint off of it, which I could do that later because I don't think I'm going to use this brush again today. But we are cleaning it anyway, so then it'll be done. And I still will clean it again before I put it. Right now I'm just cleaning it to get the paint off of it. I am going to clean it again with cleaner before I put it back in my kit. We're going to take this brush and we're going to use that same color. I'm thinking to do another one, but I do want more color consistency though. And so we do know that we need to let it dry just a little bit to get color consistency when we add our second layer. So this can be, and usually for me is, a time-consuming process because of trying to get the color consistent. And so it's a learning experience each time of how much water, is this enough water, too much water, put less water to get the color the way that I want it to be. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it time consuming. It's not like eyeshadow, you just put it on and then you're done. No, there's a lot more to it with this. But I do enjoy the process, I really do. It's just a lot of fun just doing stuff. And I know I say that a lot even in my regular eyeshadow videos. Red, orange is not for the lid. There's another color and I'm hoping the other color is in purple. Because this is the purple. And so I hope it wasn't. I need to put a note in here. And I know I wrote it down somewhere, but I definitely remember orange and red not being for the lids and blue and greens not being for the lips. I do remember that. But I don't think it was purples, not for the eyes. I don't think. But, and if it's not, I will find out soon enough that it's not for that. This is purple in person, but because it's sheared out, it looks like I'm like auditioning for the blood scene, the blood prom scene in the movie Carrie. Oh my gosh. I love this. So we're putting a little bit water at a time. Oh, wow. Today we're just going to do different shapes on the face, different things, different designs, just doing stuff. And the thing is I don't know like all the themes of events and parties that are going to be happening. You know what I mean? And so I just want to have a mix of just everything, which I know is not possible to have a mix of everything, but or at least enough where someone can say, okay, if she can do that, then I know she can do such and such for my event or for my party. You know what I mean? So I just want to have a variety of stuff on my Fet page at least. I do want more client pictures to put on my website. But one thing, and I mentioned it before, one thing with working in the alternative community, some people, excuse me for that, don't want to be on the internet, and that is totally understandable. Totally understandable. But word of mouth within the community is like really good though, because if they like you, if you're an event and they like what you do, they will tell other people. And so the pictures that I want for my website are not necessarily for the alternative community because they don't look for mainstream makeup artists and entertainers for their events. You know what I mean? And so word of mouth does work for within the community, but for outside of the community, you know, people do want to see what has this person done. And so, and initially I wasn't even concerned with the website and wanting to, you know, build that up because I didn't know if I was going to keep the website or not, because I do want to work within the alternative community and the website wouldn't matter. But then if I'm going to do like kid parties, adult parties, you know, that type of thing, then yeah, I'm going to need to put some stuff on there. And so even though I do want to do entertainment makeup, themed makeup, party makeup, I don't want to be like, no, I don't do regular stuff. Like, my aspiration is not to do bridal, but if someone were to ask me, yes, I would do it. You know what I mean? Yo, this is like, what the hell? And I am loving it. I really hope purple wasn't the other color they said don't put on the lid. Because if it is, my eyelids are going to be cursing me out for like the next few days. Wow. Yo, this is like, what? I put on my community tab that if you like the movie Ring and Ring 2, Rings, which is the third one, was on Pluto. And Pluto is a free streaming app. You just need internet. And they don't charge you. And they do show commercials because that's how they pay to do what they do. But and so I did watch that, and the first two are on here because after that went off, it showed previews for Ring 2 and The Ring. And had I had realized, I would have just binged them in order. Sometimes I will do that if I really like a movie, and then I see that like all of them are on a platform. I will just binge, or at least just play it in the background because I know what's going to happen. I haven't, you know, not seen it all before, but so yeah, so that's what's on my TV right now, and the volume is on 3 because I didn't want anything to be heard in the video and then copyright strikes and all of that stuff. So my nose is not looking right, and it's a patch right here. I need to let that dry a little bit more. What we're also going to do today is also put on a barrier spray, which is supposed to help makeup last, but I don't think it's for water activated paints. And so we're going to find out for sure today. And we're also going to use the Mayron setting powder, translucent setting powder. This looks like a big ass bruise. Oh my gosh. I want to take a smaller brush or just use this one to do around my lip. I think I need to just take a smaller brush. Or not. I like how this color looks because it does, because of how it's showing up, the color consistency is showing up. It does look like bruising. I was gonna bring a sponge over here and like pat this out, but for me, sponges don't always do what I want them to do. I think it would be great for cream products. I'm not buying any more stuff, y'all. My last order came in of my additional silicone mats to put stuff on top of, so that way if anything does spill, it's not going to spill onto my sheets, my black sheets that I'm going to lay on the table. It'll just stay within the silicone mat, and I can easily just use a paper towel to absorb that. But I'm not buying anything else anytime soon, and stuff has started going up. I'm trying to get this patch going, like right here. I like this, y'all. I like this. And this feels nice too. You know what it feels like? It feels like a facial. Like when you're laying there and they have like something like this and they're putting the product on your face. That's what it feels like. It feels very relaxing. Yo, I am making dips in these colors. Oh my gosh. The event is coming up again. I think it's in June. for where I was going to go last year, but I had said I don't want to go and like just break even. And they had it where, you know, you have like slots of when you're available to do whatever you're doing. And they said a person did go a few years ago, and she didn't fill up all her spots, meaning that people were not, you know, signing up. And they said she didn't come back the next time. I'm just like, oh, because it would cost me at that point, at that time. I'm gonna leave that right there on my nose because it looks like it's supposed to be there, even though it's not. It would have cost me about $500 for, you know, the hotel room to stay up there. And I'm like, if I don't break even, like, what's the point? And it's like a 3 to 4 hour drive away. So I was just like, And then I said, you know what, let me just wait and plan for the next one. And so they did announce the next one for the summer, but I'm still not sure. It's not an event like this one where people do come and dress up. But that doesn't mean that someone wouldn't want their makeup done. So I'm just trying to weigh the pros and cons of if I were to go to there. I definitely, though, am going to look into cosplay for the summer because I definitely know I will get work at a cosplay event. Not necessarily the entertainers, but the people who come to see. Because cosplayers, I think I mentioned it before, they do their own stuff. They do their own makeup. They make their own costumes. They hand sew their own stuff. But as far as people that just show up, I do think that would be good. Still waiting to hear back from the Ren Fair people. And I'm kind of just like, all right, I need to stop messing with this because I'm making it lighter and I want it to be darker. I'm going to put a little bit more water in it. This purple had a serious dip in it. I'm just like, what? What am I doing? All right, I think I'm about to stop with this purple. I should have brought a wet sponge over here because I could have put, like, used the butt of the sponge. You know, I probably still could. Because I do have water here that I can dip the sponge in. So I could just press it and have a consistent circle of whatever color I'm using, you know what I mean? But do I want to do that for this video or the next one? I do have out a stipple sponge, and so we're going to see what that does. But I want to get some more designs on my face first before I start with the stippling. And they're not very soft either, so that I don't like. My eyes are not itching or burning, so that is a good thing. Wow, this is, wow. I'm trying to think now of what the next color is that I want to put on here as I clean the paint out of this brush. I'm thinking green, but what type of look am I going for? This is nice. I like this. And we're gonna put that brush over there, pop another Skittle in my mouth. We're going to this brush. I don't know. We're gonna go into a mid-tone green. And so we're making a paste with the paint. You know what would be nice too? Is putting a stencil on top of this and then painting within the stencil. That would be something that would be complex, like a complex payment type thing. It wouldn't necessarily be considered a simple design because we're using multiple things. Okay, the purple is pulling off of here, but the green is not laying down. Okay, let's see. And I do still need to clean out the white because it has some of my foundation in there from on the brush. Okay, this isn't... Okay. So I think I need to use a smaller brush. Yeah, this is not building up, but we're going to keep doing it. It's going to build up. We just have to give it time. Just have to give it time. Let it dry a little bit and then add a little at a time. Yeah. And I do like how the color is fading downward. I do like that. I do like how this is fading. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder whether or not to even post these, because it is just me just playing around with my own face. I think it would be really exciting if I were doing a client's face for video. And that is a lot easier. I'm gonna take this brush. Part of me wants to do white, but then I do white a lot, and so I don't want to do white. But I'm trying to think of what will show up against this purple. So we're going into that pale pink, and so we are making a paste with that, and I don't know what we're going to do with the pink yet. I do have a picture in my mind of what I want to do, but we'll see how it actually comes out. Okay. Okay. I do like how the purple shows up with this. I mean, the pink is showing up with the purple. This is cute. All right, good color choice, Dion. Thank you. You're welcome. And so we're going to leave that like that. And hopefully this line is straight. Oh, and this is so much easier to do on somebody else's face. I admit that I have not been playing with Ronnie as much as I thought I would. Oh, do we have a crown? Do we have a crown? We have a crown. That is cute. Oh, this looks weird. It makes my teeth look yellow too. It's purple. I'm kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I like that. Oh man. This is so much fun. Wow. Excuse me, very dead. My throat. The reason I was debating whether or not to even keep posting these videos is because they don't get a lot of views, but y'all know I don't chase views. And because I do get some views, I know that some people are interested in it, you know what I mean? And I thought to do them members only, but I don't want it to be like, okay, you have to be a member to see this content, even though some channels do that. But because I'm still trying to build up the brand, I do feel it's important just to have stuff accessible, and maybe over time it'll be members only, but for now, no. Once Makeup by Dion Luvs is good and grown, things may change, but right now, oh my gosh, yo, I love this. And I admit you could do this with shadow if you have like a dark purple. What in the world? I do want to do a stencil of something on my cheek. I have a few here. I need to cut some more of the other ones. But the few that I have on my desk, that would be nice. We have a larger one here, but then I would have to pull out, what's the word? The inglot. Because the water paint doesn't work well with the stencils. And I don't even have a pink for inglot. I do have a red. You know what? We'll do that another day because I feel like I am about to do like too much. So let me just stick with the water paints because that's what I wanted to see. If the barrier spray is for the water paint or just for powder products. I'm looking at my face, excuse me for smacking. Thinking of what else I want to do. This green is way out of place now. I have a vision for a look for pride. Just using like maybe this shape brush, and I have 2 of these, and just doing a different color stripes on my face. I remember the one year I did my eyebrows different colors, and I really liked that look. It was very simple, but it was definitely like, yeah, this is for pride. You know what I mean? And I think the year prior I did an actual makeup look. But even just having the brows like that was a look too, you know what I mean? So, but that is something I've been thinking about already because time is going by fast. And before we know it, it will be Pride Month. I had someone contact me and I sent it to a friend of mine because, and I didn't say anything. I just said like, what do you think about this? Because I don't want to create an inherent bias. Someone contacted me asking for my website, but the way she said it, she was like, do you have a website? Because word of mouth just don't cut it these days. Da, da, da. But she was very, it was just, it just hit me the wrong way, like however she was saying it. And then I messaged her back saying, word of mouth does work. Especially in the alternative community, which is where I want to focus my career. And because of that, my website is bare bones because they're not looking for mainstream makeup artists. So then she wrote back something like, well, I don't know what the alternative community is, but I'll look at it anyway. And I'm thinking, you don't have to. Like in my mind, I'm thinking you don't have to. But I said, you know, let me just be nice. And so I wrote her back. I sent her the website. I said, the alternative community is the queer community. And I didn't hear back from her, which I didn't expect to, because honestly, because of how she sounded, I wouldn't have wanted her as a client anyway. Because y'all know for me, makeup is fun. So if you have attitude, that's not welcome here. So I sent the exchange to a friend, and they were like, word of mouth absolutely does work. And she came off out the gate pretty aggressive. So I knew it wasn't just me. But I was just like, and also when you think about businesses, what business have you ever heard of that didn't start because you, how am I saying this? Every business there is started because somebody said something. Like no business just popped up and everybody knew about it. So I'm like, word of mouth does work. And that's why there's, like, as far as in the beauty community, beauty YouTube, that's why companies do PR. You know, they send you stuff, you talk about it, people hear about it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, so I think she was an older person because I'm in my mid-50s. But I'm thinking she was older than me to tell me that word of mouth doesn't cut it. Word of mouth doesn't work, because it absolutely does. You know, I found out about this place. Oh my gosh, I told y'all about this cheesesteak my neighbor brought me, because brung isn't a word. And I was like, this is the best cheesesteak I've ever had. And it turned out it was lamb. I heard about that from my neighbor. Word of mouth. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and so I'm looking at this like, what the heck am I doing besides having fun? And so I was just like, every business starts word of mouth. Unless you just like buy a building, put your products in it, and just hope people just come into the building to see your stuff. But I'm like, is that really, that's not how that goes. And so that was kind of just strange to me. And that's why I wanted to send it to a friend of mine to see what she thought. Because I know sometimes I'm off. I know sometimes I am. And so I just wanted to see. And they were like, she was very aggressive. And it's like, how you going to have an attitude when you're contacting a company? Like, I don't think anybody would want that type of attitude as a customer or even a potential customer. And some people are just miserable, and that's how it came across to me. But what I imagine is she'll be telling her friends, oh, I contacted about this company and blah, 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 which is still word of mouth. So somebody still want to hear about me, even if it's just her saying like what she said. You know what I mean? But it's just interesting. Very interesting. I've never had anybody come at me aggressive like that. But I was still nice. I was professional because I'm like, you know, this is my thing. I wasn't defensive or anything. And I haven't been promoting the website because it is bare bones. And I do know for mainstream, I am going to need more pictures. So I already know that. And I did decide to keep it. Because I do think it would be nice to have my email address be Dion@makeup by Dion Luvs. I do think that would be really nice. But I'm just... And of course there's a price for that, but it does look very professional. And so that's on my to-do list. I have a lot of stuff on my to-do list. Right now I'm just enjoying doing faces. Very much so enjoying doing faces. And businesses are what you make it. I mean, yeah, you have to build it up, and you know, you have to know that it just takes time. And also in the downtime, that's when you do like your odds and ends stuff. Like if every day was super busy, like when would I have time to like perfect certain things or have certain things in order the way I want them to be? You know what I mean? And so, and even like when I worked, one of my jobs, paperwork day was every Friday. So you can just stay home and just get all your reports done. So there was like a time and a place for everything. It wasn't just nonstop go, 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 go. You know what I mean? Or there'd be days where, you know, we would just have a meeting or something like that. So it is very much a process. And I am enjoying the process. And I'm thankful for my circle who remind me, just enjoy the ride. And I do know timing is everything. And I am a firm believer that if something is for you, it's for you. I do believe some things will just happen and you just need to be in the right place at the right time. And I do believe that there's other things where you have to actively go out and get it. Like it's there, you just have to get it. Just like my mail, I have to go get my mail and it's just sitting in my mailbox waiting for me. You know what I mean? This light is getting dim over here and I did not plug in the other ones. And when you're trying something new, it can say a lot about you as a person. You know what? I was going to put something over my lips. Oh, shoot. I just said that didn't have out this light. And it went out. So it was there. It was 35 minutes. This time goes by so fast doing this. Do I want to do purple over the lips? I mean pink over the lips. No, because it was red, pink. What else was not for the lips? Yeah, so some things I do think will just come, and other things you have to go get. Like you have to put effort into it. And I do think it will reveal itself pretty early on. Like, is this something you want, or is this something that, I mean, it has to be something you want though, too, but, well, not even a but. Something that you want, but it has to be sustainable. Like, any business is not like it's a one-time thing. You just do something one time and that's it. And so you constantly have to put effort into it, put work into it for it to continue to grow, to build it in the first place, and then for it to grow. And sometimes I think people do get discouraged and they leave. And I'm thinking right now of content creators, like some, because they don't grow as fast as they want or things don't happen as fast as they want, like they'll stop doing YouTube. And I'm just like, But then it depends on why you're here. Are you here to be like an overnight sensation, or are you here understanding it's going to take time for stuff to happen? I do want to, after I clean the brush, right, I do want to put a pink something or other right here. And there's a lot of things that's a slow burn. You know what I mean? It might seem like whatever your goal is taking forever, but then once it hits, it's like boom. And it's like, oh, okay, here we are. You know what I mean? And so if you're trying to do something or working on something, try not to be discouraged. And have a good support team. And a good support team to me, it's not yes men or yes women or yes non-binary people, but people who will tell you what they really think, if they think it's a good idea, if they think it's really you, what are your motives. They'll tell you if you're off base, and they'll tell you when you're doing good. Like when I sent, that correspondence to a friend, they were like, she can, and I didn't say anything. I just said, what do you think? And they were like, yeah, she was aggressive out the gate. Like she wasn't very friendly. And so I was just like, okay. And so I try not to like take things personal, because sometimes people are just having a bad day and it has nothing at all to do with me. I'm just on the receiving end, for them to send a message to and respond back to. And a lot of things are not personal. And I think some people tend to take things personal when it's really not. And so that's a life lesson. Everything, even if it's directed towards you, doesn't mean it's about you. They can be just having a bad day. Yo, this is looking like, oh wow. These things take so long, y'all. Like going back and forth, cleaning the brushes, or picking out a new brush, not a new one, but one that is completely clean versus wiping it clean. I think we're going to go into a yellow, the bright yellow that's in here. We didn't use this one. It doesn't look like we used this one yet. I really do wish that the water paints work with those stencils, because that would give me so many more color options. But because the stencils, I am going to cut the larger ones into smaller pieces. And so, like, for example, oh, I just dropped one. Pick that up before I forget it's down there. This is a piece of a larger one. You know what I mean? So even though they're all going to be cut smaller, I thought I had another one. And part of me wants to try it again, but part of me is like, no. Because I know it works with the Inglav for sure. And if there's other, I want to do, I want to do a pink line across there. And I done picked up this yellow. Let's use the yellow anyway, just because we put it on here. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I really forgot what I was saying. I am just excited, y'all. I am excited. Wow. I think I might have been about to say something about if there's another brand that has water activated. No. Other brands of potted gel liners. So I can have more colors, more color options. But I kind of do think I have enough though. I like that. Yo, I just be doing stuff and I be like, ooh. I be like, I like how that's turning out. Just try new things. I'm not saying go out and buy Mayron and paint your faces with water activated paints, but even just your regular makeup, because this can be just a graphic eyeliner for a regular eyeshadow look. Just take a bright color and put it under your brow. You know what I mean? So that could just be that. It is so much easier on other people than on myself. But these are nice brushes. I love these paints. I think I want to put this under here, but is that going to be too close to the brow? I don't want to put too much on the brush. I'm going to have to put a little bit more water in it. Just a teensy bit. I think it might have been Janet. If it was you, hey girl, hey. And if it wasn't, forgive me. That asked, when did I become interested in face paint? And I was before. But I didn't see, because y'all know I just like doing stuff. But I didn't see a need to actually purchase products and actually pursue it. You know what I mean? And then when I was in the class, it just woke something up in me when they were doing like the high fashion looks, the runway looks, that type of thing. It lit something in me, and I was just like, yeah. And you know, Halloween looks, it just lit something, it woke up something in me. So it wasn't as random as it seems. Because I do like doing different things and trying new things. And a lot of what I see is like bridal makeup, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to enjoy the time I'm spending with my client and creating something different, creating something unique. Because when you look at bridal makeup, like almost anybody could have did those looks. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, like I don't want to be just, you know, a run-of-the-mill makeup artist. Even though they do make good money, especially in the spring and in the summer. And if you get picked as a makeup artist for a destination wedding, they pay for your flight, they pay for your hotel, they pay for, you know, all of your stuff. So you just gotta show up. And who wouldn't want, I don't want to call it a vacation because you will be working, but you're not working 24 hours a day. But when that bride calls you, you better answer your phone. And for some, that's the dream. Just do destination weddings. But am I a princess yet? This would look cute on a little person for their birthday party. I think they would love this. I think they would love this. I'm not sure if I want to put pink on my lips. I'm not supposed to put pink on my lips. All right, let's go into the white. I don't want to do white. Oh, you know, pink can go on the lips. It was red, pink, and something else, not for the eyes. And it was blue and green, not for the lips. Okay, so I can put the pink on the lips. I think we're going to take a darker pink. This one we have on now is the pale pink. And this one is the one next to it, so it's a little bit deeper. And I do have the one with, I have the neon palette, and I have the metallic palette. This one is the 30 Pan Pro palette. And you can buy the colors individually. So when I do start to run low, y'all, like, look at this purple. This is the one I've been using today. Look at that hole in there. Oh, gosh. It's more like a burgundy, I think. You know what? I have a pink lipstick. Duh. I could have used that. I didn't think ahead of time to what colors I wanted to put on my face. And I do have quite a few of the MAC. They're liquid lipsticks. I forget which one. I forget what they're called. I think it's like Kiss Locket or something like that. But I don't recall them having a pink because I think I bought almost every color. But for myself, I do have a pink from the Sephora cream lip stain. And those are good and they last. God, my lips looking big. My lips are big. But this bright color is making them look bigger. I know this guy, y'all. His lips is like twice the size as mine. And how I say I have half of my dad's nose and my sister has the other half because his nose is that big. His lips are like maybe 2/3 the size of his mom. His mom's lips are huge. And I've known him since I was like 14. And he said to me one day, he's like, look at your big lips. I said, your mama. I really did. I said, your mama. And the thing is when you're around something, you're exposed to something all the time, it just is what it is. But seriously, y'all, they were like super full, and it fit her face. I'm like, your mama. And his was bigger than mine too. So I'm like, oh, I got big lips. Your mama. And I was telling a friend about that, and they were like, girl, you wrong. I sent a picture. They were like, no, you were right. They were like, yeah, you were right. But I only felt comfortable saying that to him because we go back so far and we've been friends, you know, since then, like 40 years, you know what I mean? So you can just say anything and it's like, ha, ha, ha. Like, yo, mama. Because I was really like, really? His bigger than mine and hers bigger than both. Are you telling me I got big lips? Okay. Let me set you straight here, buddy. So we are going to... All right, we're going back to that pink. The first pink we used. But y'all was just like, yeah, yo, dude. Okay. Dipping in the water a little bit. I'm gonna have to clean the white, the yellow, the green, because they do pick up whatever colors on your brush. And when I'm using the white and I have a foundation, it does pick up the foundation. So yeah, I gotta clean that because that don't even look right. It don't look good, I should say. Can't remember if I use the side of the brush or the flat edge. I think I used the edge. And this side I use it flat, so that's why that's wider. So let's just fill it in. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit and then go back and fill it in some. In my mind, I was like, I want X amount of clients. I want to make X amount of money at this event. But you know what? Right now, I'm sitting here like, whatever I do, I'm going to have the time of my life. Just being able to, you know what I'm saying? And to know that they're going to walk around and people are going to be like, oh, girl, who did that? That lady over there. How much she charge you? Oh, yeah, let me go over here and let her do my face. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited. And so we'll see. And I did go back and add to my pictures on there saying that I am available for parties and events. And I already did have a writing on my Fed page about the services that I offer. Y'all, this is the only thing out of place, but I'm gonna do something with that to make it not look like it's out of place. What else do I want to do? I think blue would, I don't know, I don't think that's gonna look right. I don't want to do black. I want to do some more yellow. So I'm really sitting here like, I'm cleaning the brush. I can say brushes, but it's just the one brush. Yeah, let's go back to that yellow. I know sometimes I say I recognize that less is more. And so even though I'm about to do more stuff, is with the same colors. This is the same yellow that we used up here. And sometimes it is just the little details. This yellow is bold. I put that on the wrong side. Oh well. Now it's going to be on both sides. Sometimes it is just the little details. This is interesting, this look. I wanted to do another look that's similar to the look I did for Smile, that creepy look. Sorry that you couldn't see me. I love that look. I love the Grinch one I did too. I know I got quiet. Don't want to talk too much when doing stuff around my mouth. If I did do white in the center, like in the spaces, then it would look like teeth. Do I want to do that? I just realized I have not dipped back in the paint, putting all these yellow lines. Do I want to do white? Y'all, this is and now I'm thinking so this is showing me that I could just use like just 3 colors and do whatever it is that I'm doing. And not like an eyeshadow look when I'm using like 7 or 8 shades. I think I am, excuse me for smacking, when I post this. This is hella long because the first part was like 30 something minutes. And I clicked off by accident. And this part right now, we're almost at 20. So this is going to be over an hour. What I like about doing it on myself is that I know it's going to look better on someone else, because the angle of my hand is different. But it's just like, okay, this is the idea. And when I do it on a client, like, okay, this is for real. I always feel like I need to put stuff on my nose. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I always feel like I gotta put something on my nose. Alright, so I'm liking this up here. So we're gonna go into the white. I'm cleaning off the brush again. I am just really excited. We're gonna put on the barrier spray last because I am thinking that's gonna break down this water activated paint. Because it's supposed to seal your makeup. And it says like before, during, and after, spray this on your face. So before you start your makeup, you can spray it on. In between layers of your makeup, you can spray it on. And of course, when you're done, you can spray it on. But I'm like, that's the spray, and this is water activated. I thought I was sweating, but I'm not. How this was shining, because it's shining over there too. What are we doing? We want to go ahead and go. I think I might want a smaller brush for the white. No, we're going to just use this brush for the white. F it, let's go for it, because it is kind of wide for some of these spaces. But if I just use the tip of it, it's okay for these little spaces. Trying to think of what else I can tell y'all about. Being 78 in here, it does feel really cool. I'm just surprised that, I don't know why I'm surprised it's so humid out. The rain we had the other day did just make things humid. But, did I just hear thunder? But it did clean my vehicle, and it cleaned the sap off my vehicle. It didn't sound like it was raining hard enough to remove the sap off of my windows, but it did. So I was glad for that. I need to put more water on here. What are we using? We're using white. So I was glad about that. When I finish this, I'm going to turn my AC back off, because if I'm just sitting here, well, not sitting here, I'll be cutting up stencils and other stuff, but I'll be warm for that. I don't care. I just didn't want to be sweating doing a video. I know I went quiet again. This is not looking like teeth. Just look like blocks. That is okay. To be like, what is that? Whatever you want it to be. That's one of the joys of face paint. This is fun and funny at the same time. Just making up stuff. And it is a lot of fun. I know people who color. They even have coloring books for adults. I don't color. Paint my face. I don't know if that counts. Y'all, this is interesting. That's the word we'll use. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, we'll go with that. Just doing different things. And once everything is done, go back and edge up the lines and things like that. But just doing it, just do it. And go back to it later. And that'll give all of this time to dry too, you know what I mean? And these are so easy to work with that you can just leave and come back to it. Like doing eyeshadow looks. So we'll see something and be like, yeah, I'll fix that later kind of thing. I have a list of Petalmorphosis pairings I want to do. So I don't know if that's going to be like a 2-week project. But yeah, there's quite a few palettes. I think I have 9, 10. 9 palettes that I want to do pairings with petalmorphosis. I am determined to get use out of that palette. And I do think once I'm done, I'll be like, okay, like I'll be satiated. And like I did all the things I thought to do. And because I do want to feel like I got my money's worth out of it. I'm looking here like where's the gap to put put the white. I don't know. I don't know. And I do have smaller brushes, pointier brushes. Brushes do make a difference. Because this wouldn't be as time consuming if I had used a smaller brush. I just love how easy it is working with these paints. Seriously. Did y'all know the little boy from Ring and Ring 2, he's an attorney. I saw an article somewhere that was like, whatever happened to Aiden from Ring? He's an attorney and he still looks the same. Because like how in the movie it looked like he had dark under eyes. Am I sweating? Like in real life he really has those dark under eyes and he does look the same. Like his face looks the same. Yeah, he's an attorney. I forget what state he's in. Yeah, so he's an attorney. So all child actors, well, we know this if we think about it. All child actors don't become adult actors. Yeah, but he is an attorney. That's not as random as you think because it's still playing on my TV. Ring 2. Put some over here. Over here. And there seems to be a space missing. Like right here, there's like too much of other stuff in that. The white. We're just gonna put that right there. Because it just seems like something's missing. I'm like, what? What? Yo no sé, amigo. Oh no. I knew a woman from, she was Panamanian. Her grandmother and her parents moved here to the United States when she was a child. And her parents spoke Spanish and her grandmother didn't want them to speak Spanish around her, so they would speak English around her. So she grew up not knowing how to speak Spanish, and I think that's unfortunate, because being bilingual, there's some perks to that. But one day, like somebody was on work on her house somewhere, and she said, "Gracias, señor," and she said, "I told him thank you." She said, "I said gracias, señor, because gracias in English means Spanish, and señor means Mr. in Spanish." And I looked at her like I already knew that. And what's a shame is that I know more Spanish than she did. So I'm just like, I didn't tell her that, but I just looked at her like, wow, like she really thought she knew something. And she did. For her, she really knew something. But like, I know more Spanish than that. Not a whole lot. I understand it a little more than I speak it. And I keep saying I want to learn it, but then do I really? Because I haven't like gone to any classes or anything. But I just looked at her like I already knew that. Like I could have told her that. What was funny in an ironic way is in Spanish class in junior high or in high school, there were Spanish kids in the class that didn't know Spanish. And the thing is because they would speak like slang, like even like us, me growing up in inner city, I spoke Ebonics. So I still do sometimes. And so, but they couldn't read it, they couldn't write it, they didn't understand it. But if you were to be on the street and hear them speaking, they be speaking Spanish, but it wasn't proper Spanish, like how there's proper English. And my grades were better than some of their grades. And it's like, you're Spanish and I'm not. but not, you know, full-blown conversation type stuff. But see, we did something with that. Yeah, so it's just interesting. And I do want to learn. And I used to wonder, like, what was my fascination with Spanish? And then when I saw paperwork that my great-grandfather was Cuban, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because there's something in me that's like, yeah, that's part of your heritage. You know what I'm saying? And the thing with classes, because they do have classes you can take at the community college, or like no, at the tech school, you can take classes. But they always seem to be like on a date and time where I'm not able to be there. And that goes back to me saying sometimes things just fall in place. And so I just keep waiting. You know, one day they'll have a program and I'll be like, oh, y'all can go to that one. And that might only be like 8 weeks, and that might be, you know, like, you know, $150 or something like that. But so we're gonna leave that like that. I think this might be it, y'all. But what I want to do, I'm going to wet the stipple sponge. Right now I'm just cleaning off the brush, even though I don't need to right now, because the 4 that I used, I am still going to take them in the kitchen and clean them, and not just clean it off with the water that I have in front of me. So we are going to take this stipple sponge. I just wish it was softer, because this doesn't feel good. And if somebody does want this effect, I'm gonna say, just to let you know, it doesn't feel nice on the skin, because I don't like how this feels on the skin. So we're going to dip this into the yellow. Oh, I think that's too much. Okay, let me turn it over. Yeah, because that's too much. This is the side that we turned it over to. And so we're just pressing it in. Oh! Okay. So this is something easy. And so if I had, and I do have a sponge over here, but I'm not going to do any more. This is nice just for like a burst of color. Except down there, because now the color is, I turned it over to the other side. Excuse me, I'm trying to drip over the paper towel that's down here and not on myself. Yeah, that's the side when I'm like, too much water. You know, and I did it again. Girl, didn't you learn the first time? Guess I did not. Yeah, but that was the side I'm like, okay, too much. So the side that's too much, we're gonna dip it in now since it's a little bit more dry. Oh, and this is dripping. But this still is not. Okay, all right. I thought, let me tap it on the paper towel down here. Okay. I don't have any sponge tips over here, but I do have enough, I do have enough other stuff over here to clean that up. What purple was that? That was that purple. That was this purple. Excuse me. Okay, we are going to do this. And we're going to do the same thing over here just so it looks the same. But this side is coming up darker. No, it's not. Here we go. So we're going to leave that like that. So at least both sides look the same. That was nice. And just pressing it, it didn't feel really abrasive on my skin. But like when I was doing this here, it's just like, that don't feel good at all. I licked my lips by mistake. So that's going to be it, y'all, for this. I'm digging it. I like this look. So we're going to do pictures. I'm going to do this picture. We're going to do this picture. You know what? I should have put a yellow like on my lids, but we're not. Should I? Yeah. Damn it, girl. When you want to just stop? You know what? I do, but I don't, because let's do it. Because I'm thinking if it's wet, it's going to crease. You know what I mean? So that means I just need to keep making it pasty until it dries a little bit. Yeah, this is a lot of, I'm wiping some on the paper towel that's down here. I put in too much water. All right, so I'm wiping the paint and then wiping the brush on the paper towel. Oh man, this is messy. But yeah, so if I look up, this is going to crease because I have that puffy transition area going on. I do have a yellow inglot liner I could have used for this, and I do think that might have been better, but since we're in the paints, let's deal with the paints. You know, I didn't spray the barrier spray yet either, so we are going to still do that. I don't have my fan over here. I do have a fan that's packed in my bag to take when I go see clients and for events, but I didn't think to take it out because I really didn't plan on putting anything on the eyes, to be honest with you. Okay, so this is that. The other side is up just a little bit higher. I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit higher. Oh, when it dries though, my lids do feel weird. Why don't I just do this to get at least this part to be the same? Okay, so let's do this picture and this picture. How's that? I think this is cute. Let me know what you think about this look. Let me know what you think about the troll play in general. Like, do you really feel like, oh wow, this is interesting to see, or is it like, girl, just go ahead and put this just on for your membership type stuff? Let me know. And my feelings are not easily hurt. This is not a trick question, but I do really want to know what you think. And even though, like, me saying I like this, when I do this again, it's not going to look exactly the same, like not at all. But definitely, and that's part of why I do pictures, because then I'll look at it and be like, oh, you know what? I could just put X's all over the face. I could just use the stipple sponge and just do the whole face one color and take a bold color or a color that will stand out against it and put that on the face. Or, you know, I could just, you know, do a crown and, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, do a crown and do the brows. And so even just looking back at the pictures, like, it does give me ideas on like other stuff that I can do. Oh, the barrier spray. I'm sitting here running my mouth. We'll see if this will cause this to run. Because it doesn't say for activate what are activated stuff. Oh, open my eyes and my eyes was burning. This does have alcohol in it. My eyes are burning. No, it didn't disrupt. It did not disrupt the paint. I'm glad that we put this here to match this side. It did not. And it's dry. Well, because it's alcohol, so it is going to dry quicker. The first ingredient, I believe, is alcohol, but this is not just straight alcohol. The last thing I want to try, their powder does not have a sifter. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put a little bit on this paper towel, just a little bit, tiny, tiny bit. And we're going to take this brush that came from in my kit, and I just want to see, and it does say translucent. use this to set, and it didn't say for water to set water activated stuff. But I just wanted to see, like, was it really translucent? And I think not, because I'm seeing some of the powder up here, but then maybe I just need to wipe it away. So let's take a little bit more, and we're just going to kind of like smush it into the brush and the sides of the brush. Now that I know it doesn't have a sifter, I do have empty containers, because I bought the empty containers for to put Fashion Fair in, because I did get different colors of that one, because y'all know that's my favorite for me. You know what? Ah, my hip just popped. It is breaking down, because you see how this is not, and I don't know if this is from, I should have did the powder one day and just did the spray just today, because I'm seeing where this is from when it dripped, but still, because I'm looking here, this is looking more pink. It's looking like the purple is fading, and I don't know if that's from the powder, which I do have like a cluster of powder like right here. I don't know if that's from the powder or from the spray, and even like across here. I want to say it's the powder, because this is looking lighter right here. This was already there. This is looking lighter here. Across this part right here is looking lighter, and over here, I don't remember that being there. This spot right here. So I'm gonna have to do this another day, or what I'm gonna do is I'll spray my face again and then just come back and look at it. Not here though, I'll do that on my own time, because I do need to know if this is gonna break it down. So I'm just gonna spray it and then we're gonna go. Whew. When I open my eyes burn. So we're gonna go. Thank you again. Let me know what you think. I think I took enough pictures, right? I'm not gonna take pictures of this because the paint is fading. But I like that it's not dripping down, and alcohol-based sprays do dry down fast. If it doesn't break down any further, then I'll just say it's the powder, and I'll just use this for powder products. But yeah, this was definitely not there before. This had leaked, but maybe I didn't look at it closely. This is where it dripped, but I don't think I looked at it closely to notice it was dripping like that. But so we're gonna go. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up. If you do think I should just keep these for the pro side, consider joining the membership. Because if you're gonna say keep that over there, and if you are enjoying it, then I still will want you to see it. The yellow on my nose is fading. But from back here though, y'all, isn't this like a cute little 6-year-old princess girl at her birthday party? That is cute from back here. Let me take this picture. Oh, let me not flash nothing. One more picture. I said one, that was like 3, and here's 4. So thank you y'all for being here. Let's come in closer. And y'all, okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. Thank you for being here. Leave your comments down below, and you will see me soon. Thanks.